Hi guys, this is Angel from PRDB Entertainment. Today I will teach you guys how we can add a character from scratch to a VR scene that we will be working on. Now everything is going to be from scratch, so I'm going to show you guys how we can add the blueprints plus the keyboard settings, and for the mouse settings also, so you can start using it on your character. Now we need to create 3 blueprints. The first blueprint is going to be the game HUD. It's going to be a new one. The second blueprint is going to be a player controller, so we can add all the setups inside that blueprint. And the third blueprint is going to be the character itself. Now we also need to work with the world settings, because we need to tell the world settings what game mode is going to be using, what default pawn is going to be using, and in our case it's going to be our character or new character, plus the player controller blueprint that is going to be using, that is the one that we're going to be creating with all the setups for the keyboard and the mouse. Now plus we also need to go to the project settings, and we need to add also on the inputs some types of mappings for the keys and stuff, and that's another thing that we need to work. Now first of all, I'm going to start working with the new level. I'm going to create a new level here. This is going to be a VR basic level, and now I'm going to start creating our 3 blueprints. Now the first one is going to be the game mode. Now the game mode, remember to choose game mode only, do not choose game mode base. Select, put a name to it. It's going to be VR game mode. Now let's create another blueprint, and this one is going to be player controller. So I'm going to put here VR keyboard mouse control. It's really long, isn't it? Alright, so and the other blueprint is going to be our character. Alright, so I'm going to put here VR underscore character. And now what we are going to do is that we are going to our settings on our project settings here, and we are going to the input. Now here we have action mappings and we have ACES mappings. Let's go to action mappings. Let's add the jump here. It's going to be the player jump event. Remember that. I'm going to use the space bar. There we go. And now let's add the functions for our keyboard. So we can use the W, the S, so we can go forward and backwards, and the A and the D for left and right. So I'm gonna put here walk forward and backward. Alright, this one is gonna be keyboard W, the key. Alright, so I'm gonna add another one. This one's gonna be the S on your keyboard. I'm gonna put here this one's going to be -1. Okay, so now let's create another mapping, and this one's going to be walk left and right. Now this one's going to be using the A for left. This one is going to be -1, and another one is going to be the letter D, that is going to be for walking right. Alright, so let's export. Let's overwrite our input file on our project here. So I'm going to close this. And now what's the next step that we need to do? First of all, we need to tell the game mode that we are going to be using on this scene. So the game mode, we're going to our world settings. If you cannot find it, go to your window and go to world settings, and you will get the all the properties for the world setting at your right hand tab, and from here you will choose game mode, so toggle it if it's not toggled already, and choose your VR game mode blueprint that we created. That is this one that we have right here. Now for the default pawn class is going to be our VR character, because we want to use the character that we're going to be creating from scratch. And in the moment, let's put this on our VR keyboard mouse control blueprint, the player blueprint that we created for this scene here. Now let's get inside our blueprint for the VR keyboard mouse control, and from here we're going to the event graph. Now I'm gonna delete this here, and the first thing that I'm going to do is try to organize everything. So first, what I want to do is to get the player character, so the game knows about which character we're talking about right now. And from here, I'm gonna get my events for the walk forward, backward, left, and right. So I'm gonna get the first event that it was walk forward and backward. Events, not values, events. Walk left and right events. From here, I'm gonna tell him to get rotation, control rotation, get control rotation, there we go. And from here we're gonna tell him also to add input movement, add input movement, there we go. And we're going to link these up here. This one's going to be working with the options about moving forward and backwards, and this one's going to be working with the options left and right. So let me link this up before I forget. And the scale, this is going to be the ACES value. And now we still need to get two vectors. The first vector is the get forward vector for forward and backward, and the other one's the get right vector for the left and right movement. So we're going to take it off from here from the return value, get forward vector, put it here. And now let's get the other ones, the right, get right vector. It's going to be linked up with the world direction here. Now we got everything really organized. I'm going to keep it like that. So I'm going to open up a comment box here. It's going to be keyboard movement, player movement, whatever. Okay. So now I want to add the jump option. I'm going to get the player character again. I want to have so many lines dragging around the freaking event graph. So let me get the player jump. Player jump. What was the name that we gave it? Get player. What was the name? I forgot about the name that we put for the space bar. Okay, so let's go back to our project settings here. Let's go to input and let's see what we did. It's supposed to be player jump. Okay. Oh, the player jump is an event. I forgot about that. Okay. So the player jump is an event. Player jump. And from here, we're gonna, from the character, is gonna get the function of jumping. So I'm gonna add another box to this. Player jump. And let's test this out first to see how it works. I'm going to test it on standalone because on the viewport sometimes, like I said before, Unreal Engine has so many glitches that some things don't work. Some functions that you put on your game, they don't work. And right now, if I try to put it on the viewport, I cannot move the character around. It keeps showing me like I'm working with a camera or something. Okay, so here we can walk forward, backward, left, and right. So we can play around. And now we can jump also. So now what do we need to do next? We need to add the movement for the mouse. So let's go back to our VR keyboard mouse control blueprint. And this one's going to be really easy. It's not going to be that hard. So get player character once again. And now I'm going to tell him the events that we need. Oh, we need to add also the inputs for the mouse. So let's go back to the project settings. Let's go to inputs. And from here, let's add another mapping. But this one, no, my bad. Where is it? Oh, here it is. ACES map. So here is going to be mouse up and down, oh, left and right, whatever, left and right. And we're going to add here mouse X ACES. This one's going to be I don't freaking remember. Okay, I'll work it out later anyway. Okay, so we're gonna add another one. I'm gonna put this one negative just in case. This one of these two has to be one of the sides. So, Anyway, so now let's add another mapping, and the other mapping is going to be the one for looking up and down. Mouse up, down, up, down. There we go. This one is going to be the Y. So I'm just going to put a -1 here. I am not going to add the other one. It works with this, so do not try to add more things to it. Just overwrite your input file. And now let's go back to our VR keyboard mouse blueprint control. And now we're going to get our events. Mouse left and right. And mouse up and down. The events. Remember, events, not values. Okay? So now from the character we want to get the pitch. So we need to drag it out and type add controller pitch, plus we need to get the jaw. Add controller jaw. Now this one goes here and the other one goes there. Okay? For the jaw, it's going to be working with the left and right. And for the pitch, for everything that is to look up and down. So I'm going to put here another comment box. Mouse view movement. There we go. So we got only a couple of things. As you can see, there's not too much to it. Alright, compile. We hit the close. We hit the play. We save everything. We test it on standalone, like I said, just so you can be sure that everything works on your game. Don't try the test only on viewports. Sometimes it does not work. Unreal Engine has some glitches, so you need to test it on standalone. So we can walk around, back, forward, left and right. We can jump. Plus we can also look with our mouse. Whee! Okay, so I think this is all for today, guys. Probably next tutorial is going to be about how to add a gamepad to this option here, and probably other tutorials are going to be how to add the VR options to the character, and then we're going to have the tutorial of how to add your motion controllers and the hands on the character so you can interact with everything that you have on your scene. After that, I'm going to create another types of menus that are going to be interactive on the VR. Menus that are going to be created with widgets, but they are not going to be viewed on the viewport. Their widgets are going to be viewed on your scene. So probably it's going to be the coolest thing that you guys will learn from the menus tutorials. This is Angel from PRDV Entertainment, guys. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button, and if you need to comment something or ask me something, just put it on the comment. I'll be gladly to answer you back. Bye.